but in a chaotic moment.
Midnight later tonight here in Thailand, it's too little too late.
And I asked whether there's a political element to it. Nobody can exactly tell you why.
Look, things are never perfect when you're engaged in politics. Each one doing what each one wants.
So what's the United Nations doing amidst this world of supreme chaos?
Of pushing for answers every night on Asia Tonight.
Wala po akong sinusunod na sukat mo eh. Bali, sa panlasa na lang po.
Discover a carinderia that's popular for its grilled meat.
Ay, mas comfort food ko ang
Experience the Makati Workers Budget Bite at a Jolly Jeep.
Kain po tayo.
And would you dare eat at this famous street?
Tinawag po siyang Hepalin dahil it is short term for hepatitis.
Lunch with us, Sunday on CNA.
From the digital revolution to climate crisis,
Floodwaters are destroying my home.
witness stories on how we're adapting, surviving and thriving in this new era. This May on CMA. Remember this sound? See Singapore's wild journey from dialing up to dialing in to an AI-powered future, where the only thing growing faster than tech is our love for avoiding direct human interaction, the internet and us. Billions made in a single stream. But what's the real cost of going viral? Take a look behind the scenes as Asia's top live streamers battle the pressure to stay #trending in. Secret lives of live streamers. Rising sea levels, polluted coastlines, and cities on the brink. Meet the Asian mayors leading the charge against existential threats to their cities.
They need to do more.
And watch how they inspire each other in The Future Proofers. This May on CMA.
Welcome back. The cross-border scam centers operating along the Thailand-Myanmar border continue to draw international concern as reports of trafficking and abuse persist.
CNA's Taiwan correspondent Victoria Jen sits down with a recent escapee who recounts how he was lured by a fake job offer, trapped in a guarded compound, and forced to carry out scams under threats of violence.
10 years into his career as a street performer, 27-year-old Xie Yuepeng was used to traveling for work. So when he saw a job posting in a Facebook group offering a gig in Thailand, he didn't think twice.
那我也毕竟也没有去过泰国，所以我想说，保持着试看看的心态去投履历。那并且在跟对方在洽谈的过程中，让我也感觉到说，跟台湾的这些厂商的一些需要的那些流程基本上是一模一样的，所以就是直接答应了对方。
The first sign of trouble came when the car carrying him and his recruiter crossed into Myanmar.
从上了缅甸的领土，他们就开始有一些像比如说武装分子会就是在你四周围，然后一路开车载着你。我是直接被7-8个士兵直接压制，并且把我身上所有东西全部都抢走，然后把我手上就直接铐上了手铐。那铐上手铐之后，就这样子一路待，就这样子被铐了5天。
Mr. Xie was then beaten and forced to learn the methods used to scam unsuspecting victims online. He said he pretended to comply just to survive while planning for his escape. It took weeks before he finally reached the outside world, slipping crucial intel to his friends, who wasted no time turning it into a rescue operation that brought him back. He was one of the lucky ones, according to authorities.
国人他疑似受困在海外，被胁迫从事诈骗的这个不法活动的这个资料。我们的数据大概是从111年到现在，大概有1000多人，大概1050位左右的这些人民来报案。那在这1000多人当中呢，其实有大概600多位，我们已经协助跟各单位去协助他回国。
Taiwan's Criminal Investigation Bureau says most victims were lured through social media or by friends into supposed job offers that turned into a trap. The Taiwan government has been ramping up rescue efforts, working with NGOs, police liaisons, and local authorities, especially in Southeast Asia.
包括说，比如像泰国，那我们会跟泰国的警方有这些联系。那在柬埔寨呢，虽然他跟我们没有这个邦交，我们也会透过 NGO 或是台商的团体来去协助救援。
3 months since his rescue, street performer Xie Yuepeng is still haunted by nightmares and numbness from being shackled. He says if one pays attention, the red flags are hard to overlook.
人身安全比较重要。如果当下那个时候我发现了那些事情，发现那些蛛丝马迹的话，我立刻就直接暂停了所有的行程，并且我直接离开那个地方，也不去接这个份工作，就算是给人家开天窗也好。
Authorities estimate around 300 Taiwanese are still trapped in scam compounds abroad. And while rescue missions continue, stories like Mr. Xie serve as a warning that in this digital age, danger is just a click away. Victoria Jen, CNA, Taipei.
Of course, we have extensive coverage on the recent crackdowns by Thailand and China and scamming compounds in Myanmar across CNA platforms. Please head to our website, cna.asia, and our mobile app. Time for a break now. In the next hour on Asia First, the U.S. and Ukraine ink a long-awaited critical minerals deal when the Washington says will signal to Russia its commitment to a peace process.
Plus, the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio calls for de-escalation as tensions mount between India and Pakistan.
And in business news, most markets here in Asia are closed for the Labor Day. We'll be keeping track of moves in Japanese assets. And all that comes ahead of a key rate decision from the Bank of Japan later today. We'll dive into what to expect from that policy announcement in the next hour.
Unlock the best of Europe and beyond. Visit Trafalgar.com. The weather brought to you by Trafalgar. The best of Europe and beyond with Trafalgar Tours. Immerse in authentic local experiences with like-minded travelers. Stress-free travel with quality you can trust. Memories that last you a lifetime. Trafalgar. Tour differently.
We are about to be hit by a tsunami of Chinese goods. When Trump does impose tariffs on Chinese exports, then the goods that were originally supposed to go to the U.S. will have to find new markets.
Banyak sekali pabrik-pabrik yang valid.
US tariff will affect the global market. It will impact Malaysia solar panel manufacturing. China as a whole really need to realize the real motivation of the United States and the wrongfulness of using tariff as an instrument of political power against other countries.
ASEAN's got a plan B in place. We're now swimming against the tide, but we've got to keep swimming.
This is Asia First.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Julie Yu. It's 8 a.m. here in Singapore. The headlines this hour. The U.S. and Ukraine have a deal after weeks of negotiations and tensions between both sides. Washington will get access to Kyiv's rare minerals deposits, an arrangement President Donald Trump has previously called a money back for the wartime aid Ukraine has received.
I'm Arnold Gay. The U.S. also urging India and Pakistan to de-escalate tensions amid reports of New Delhi authorizing its armed forces to respond to last week's deadly Kashmir attack. Islamabad says any escalatory move could jeopardize regional stability.
I'm Sarah Alcaldi. The ripple effects of President Trump's trade policies. The U.S. economy contracts in the first quarter after businesses stepped up imports to avoid higher tire costs. But he says duties hadn't kicked in yet and casts blame on his predecessor, Joe Biden. And in big tech earnings, Microsoft stock pops, driven by its strong cloud business and guidance. Meta too beats estimates while brushing aside concerns over heavy AI investments. But first.
An 11 rallies expected to take place in Singapore, marking the last day of campaigning ahead of this Saturday's election. A period of silence begins after midnight, giving voters time to reflect and consider key issues before casting their ballots. The U.S. and Ukraine have signed a long-awaited minerals deal that gives Washington access to Kyiv's rare earths, something the U.S. President Donald Trump had demanded as payback for the support Washington had given to Kyiv in its war with Russia, as well as continued support in the bid to end the conflict.
Well, it's called the U.S.-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. And the U.S. Treasury says the economic partnership will see